Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK today. I hope you all are doing very well, and today we'll be discussing the most important MCQs for 1st of May 2024. Let's start with our session. The first question is, Indian Historical Records Commission, that is IHRC, which was seen in the news, is functioning under which ministry? Basically, why it came into news, because in April 2024, IHRC has unveiled their new logo and motto, and it has been chosen from 436 entries in an online competition. Fine. Talking about this body, it was established in the year 1919, and it is a pivotal advisory body on archival matters in India that oversees the record management and historical research, and it operates under the Union Ministry of Culture, that is A option, and it serves as a nationwide platform for record creators, custodians and the users, right? So IHRC functions under Ministry of Culture. What is the theme of World Intellectual Property Day 2024? First of all, this day is observed annually on 26th of April, and it is organized by WIPO, that is World Intellectual Property Organization, to highlight the significance of intellectual property in fostering the innovation and creativity. Okay, this year the theme is IP and the SDGs, building our common future with innovation and creativity. So WIPO traces its origin to the Paris Convention of 1883, which established the IP protection for inventions, trademarks and industrial designs, and then WIPO became a specialized agency of United Nations in the year 1974, right? So two things are important. We celebrate the World Intellectual Property Day on 26th of April every year. This year the theme is IP and the Sustainable Development Goals, building our common future with innovation and creativity. Next question is, recently who was elected as the chairman of the Athletes Commission of the Wrestling Federation of India? So in the month of April this year, former Commonwealth Games gold medalist Narsingh Pancham Yadav became the chairman of Athletics Commission of the Wrestling Federation of India, and his election completed the process mandated by the United World Wrestling. This is an international sports body that had required the WFI to establish the commission to address wrestlers' grievances as a condition for lifting the federation suspension, right? And it is led by Sanjay Singh. So who is the new chairman of Athletics Commission of Wrestling Federation of India? This is Narsingh Pancham Yadav. Okay. Recently, where was the 12th international meeting of high-ranking officials responsible for security matters held? So Indian National Security Advisor Mr. Ajit Doval convened with his Russian counterpart, and they addressed key bilateral issues where they focused on counter-terrorism, cyber security and the defense cooperation. So Ajit Doval attended the 12th international meeting of high-ranking officials responsible for security matters, and it was hosted by Russia from 22nd to 25th of April, where they gathered different senior officials from 106 countries to discuss the global security challenges, and it is underscored by Russian President Vladimir Putin's emphasis on combating international terrorism, right? So what was the venue for 12th international meeting of high-ranking officials which is responsible for security matter? Answer would be B option, St. Petersburg in the country Russia. Here if we talk about USA, recently President Joe Biden has signed $95 billion military aid package featuring $61 billion for the country Ukraine, then $26 billion for the country Israel, and further $8 billion for the Indo-Pacific. Also, the bill includes provisions targeting TikTok, giving the parent company ByteDance 9 months to sell the application before it is banned in the US, right? Simply you can be asked that which country recently passed foreign aid bill to provide military aid to the countries Ukraine and Israel. Answer would be USA. Okay. Next is, recently the 26th World Energy Congress is organized in which country? So a ministerial round table conference convened on 24th of April recently during this 26th World Energy Congress that took place in Netherlands country, and discussion centered on the transformative impact of COP28 United Nations Climate Change Conference that took place in Dubai. So this conference is themed at redesigning energy for people and planet, aims to shape the global energy transitions worldwide. Okay, so venue for this event is the country Netherlands. Recently, India's first multi-purpose green hydrogen pilot project was inaugurated in which Indian state? Basically, SJVN Limited has inaugurated India's very first multi-purpose green hydrogen pilot project at the Nathpa Jhakri hydropower station that lies in Himachal Pradesh state. It operates for 8 hours daily, and basic aim is to produce 14 kgs of green hydrogen with surplus utilized to generate electricity through a 25 kilowatt of fuel cell. And the project will also produce high velocity oxygen fuel coating material, and the alkaline electrolyzer is powered by renewable energy from a 1.31 megawatt solar power plant in Shimla. Okay, so India's very first multi-purpose green hydrogen pilot project has been inaugurated in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Next is, which bank has recently collaborated with Reserve Bank of India to revolutionize agricultural lending through digitalization? This is the NABARD. NABARD and the RBI Innovation Hub have joined hands to modernize agricultural lending through digitalization, and basic aim is to streamline the loan processing and improve the accessibility for the Indian farmers. So NABARD will integrate its eKCC loan origination system portal with the RBI Innovation Hub's public tech platform for frictionless credit. Okay, so it promises faster loan approvals and enhanced efficiency for the cooperative banks and the regional rural banks. So this collaboration aligns with NABARD's goal of promoting rural prosperity and advancing financial inclusion in the rural areas, right? So recently NABARD has collaborated with RBI so that they can revolutionize their agricultural lending through digital means. Next is, recently which central public sector enterprise secured a green loan of Japanese yen 60.536 billion for sustainable projects in India? Here correct answer would be REC, that is Rural Electrification Corporation Limited. They have obtained a green loan of Japanese yen of 60.536 billion for sustainable initiatives in India, and the Italian Export Credit Agency, named as SACE, backed the loan with an 80% guarantee as part of its push strategy program, right? So targeting renewable energy, green mobility and energy efficiency projects, it marks the SACE's inaugural JPY denominated loan and their first green loan in India. So this move aligns with the growing trend towards green financing, fostering environmental sustainability, right? Here correct answer is REC, Rural Electrification Corporation Limited. Now also you have to remember that every April 26th marks the International Chernobyl Disaster Remembrance Day. Okay, and this day honors the victims of the catastrophic event. Actually, on 26th of April in the year 1986, the Chernobyl nuclear power plant explosion in Ukraine released a massive radioactive cloud which exposed around 8.4 million people to the harmful radiation. And the day serves to raise awareness of the disaster's consequences and the ongoing impact on affected communities worldwide. Okay, you can be only asked that Chernobyl nuclear power plant that was recently seen in the news is located in which Indian state? Your answer would be Ukraine. What is the Army tactical missile system recently seen in the news? So this is a surface to surface artillery weapon, and US is providing the Army tactical missile system to the country Ukraine to aid its conflict with Russia, and it aims for its use within Ukraine's border. And the decision stems from Russia's heightened assaults on civilian infrastructure and suspicions of North Korea supplying ballistic missiles to Russia. And it was developed by Lockheed Martin, and it is a kind of surface to surface artillery weapon which has a range of 300 kilometers, and it surpasses existing army capabilities there, and previous versions had ranges of around 160 kilometers. Okay, so this is a surface to surface artillery weapon. Next is, recently which country successfully launched Shenzhou 18 spacecraft to their space station? This is China. China launched a 3-member crew to their Tiangong space station from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center atop a Long March 2F rocket, right? And the Shenzhou 18 crew will spend approximately 6 months on the station, where they would be conducting different scientific tests, installing space debris protection equipment, and promoting science education. So China aims to put astronauts on the moon by the end of 2030, following its first independent crewed space mission in 2003, becoming the third nation to do so after the Soviet Union and the US, right? Correct answer is here, China. They have recently launched their Shenzhou 18 spacecraft to the space station. Recently, which organization released the 2024 Global Education Monitoring Report, Gender Report Technology on Her Terms in France? This report has been published by UNESCO, and the report examines the impact of technology on the girls' education opportunities and future technological development. It highlights ICT's potential to overcome educational barriers for the girls, citing the M-Shule platform in Kenya. Okay, so the digital divide persists, with fewer women owning mobile phones and having internet access as compared to men. Okay, so this is the report from UNESCO. Next one is, Dongria Kondh community recently seen in the news belongs to which Indian state? So members of Dongria Kondh tribe, which is a particularly vulnerable tribal group, threaten election boycott unless false anti-mining protest cases are withdrawn. So this tribe resides in Odisha state basically, and they halted Vedanta Resources mining plans, invoking the Forest Rights Act through Gram Sabhas, protecting their environment and cultural heritage. So Vedanta's failure to secure approval led to the tribe's victory in a battle where they highlighted indigenous empowerment against corporate interest. Okay, so this tribe, named as Dongria Kondh community, it lives in Odisha state. Recently, which space organization successfully launched its advanced composite solar sail system spacecraft from the country New Zealand? This is the NASA. NASA recently launched a space mission from New Zealand, deploying the advanced composite solar sail system spacecraft aboard the Rocket Lab's Electron rocket. Okay, and this spacecraft utilizes solar energy for propulsion, orbiting 1000 kilometers above Earth with an 80 square meter sail. So key objectives include demonstrating solar sail effectiveness and potentially reducing the reliance on heavy propulsion system for future mission, marking a significant leap in the space exploration technology. Fine. So here B option is the right answer, that is NASA. The next one is, Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services, recently seen in the news, comes under which ministry? So a recent study by the Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services highlights the crucial need for accurately forecasting the specific oceanographic parameters due to their significant economic benefit. So it was established in the year 1999 under the Ministry of Earth Sciences, and INCOIS operates under the Earth System Science Organization. So its mandate is to offer top-notch ocean information and advisory services to the various sectors, including the society, industry, government agencies, and the scientific community. And INCOIS provides round-the-clock monitoring and warning services for coastal populations regarding tsunamis, storm surges, and high waves through its Indian Tsunami Early Warning Center. Okay, so this center works under Ministry of Earth Science, that is A option. Okay, now apart from it, Microsoft has recently introduced Phi 3 Mini, which is their latest lightweight AI model, and this is the first of 3 planned releases, and it outperforms similar sized and large models in across various benchmarks, Also, it excels in language, reasoning, coding, and math. And it is a first NETS class where they are maintaining a good quality of it, and it has a 3.8 bytes of size, and it's accessible on the platforms like Microsoft, Azure AI Studio, etc. Okay, you can be simply asked that Phi 3 Mini, which is an AI model, has been recently developed by which company? Your answer would be Microsoft. And now the last question is, recently who secured a gold medal in women's 10-meter air rifle at the World Shooting Parasport Tournament in Changwon, Korea? This is Indian parachuter Mona Agarwal. She clinched the gold in women's 10-meter air rifle, while army man Amir Ahmed Bhatt secured silver medal in the 25-meter pistol at the World Shooting Parasport Tournament that recently took place in Korea. Okay, so she claimed the R2 10 meters air rifle standing SH1 gold with a score of 250.8, and this is her second World Cup title of the year. Also, Varnisa won the silver medal, and she is from Slovakia country, and Swedish shooter Anna Benson took the bronze. Fine. So correct answer is Mona Agarwal. She has secured a gold medal in the women's 10-meter air rifle at the World Shooting Parasport Tournament that recently took place in Korea. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. And now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Hadsana signing off.